Got some walnuts here. Just came out of the oven. Toasted these walnuts about 10 minutes. Mixed them up and put them back in a couple times. About 10 minutes. Should smell real good. Should taste good. Gotta chop these walnuts up. I'm making some banana nut bread. And I got some of the stuff already out. 2.5 cups of flour in there. In my handy dandy sifter. Old fashioned sifter. I've got like 4 bananas. I'm going to use 4 bananas, guys. It's a lot of bananas. I got to mash those bananas up in this bowl here. So I made some buttermilk. I didn't have any buttermilk. My recipe, I like buttermilk, and so I put a 1/2 cup of milk in here. And a 1/2 tablespoon of this here vinegar. Just regular white vinegar. Stirred it up. Set it about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's buttermilk. And well, I got some other stuff. A teaspoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of baking soda. Pure vanilla. Flour. Got some salt. Got some salt in here, a teaspoon of salt. So there's a teaspoon of vanilla, baking soda, and salt. 2.5 cups of flour. 1 1/4 cups of sugar. When my butter gets softened up enough, I'm going to put the butter in there and mix it in the sugar. There's a 1/4 cup and a little extra in there. And a whole cup in there. 1 1/4 cups of sugar. 2 eggs. 2 large eggs I beat up. So I got this stuff already. My butter, I didn't have a whole stick of butter. I needed, for my recipe anyway, a whole stick of butter. So I'm using some Crisco shortening to make up the difference. I was like 2 tablespoons shy. So I put a couple tablespoons of shortening in there. You could probably use canola oil or, you know, oil with the butter, it don't matter. So let me get this stuff going. What I gotta do is get this butter softened up a little bit more. But yeah, banana nut bread. Oh, I got my pan over here. It's a 9x5 pan. Greased up and ready to go. And I'll be back. I don't know, that looks pretty good to me. Mashed up pretty good. There's a few little pieces in there. But it's pretty mashed up. Anyway, gotta melt my butter here. You can see I didn't annihilate the walnuts. I got about, I don't know, a good cup. Chopped up walnuts that I toasted first. That'll go in there. Got my butter and that little bit of shortening. Gotta cream this in here with the sugar, man. Get this all incorporated. I don't know why I'm using a spoon. Spatula would work better. There we go. I like working with the spatula. Spatulas scrape better than spoons. Cover more ground. So yeah, there's 8 tablespoons of butter. Softened. Let's get this mashed in here. got to add the egg and stuff in here too. That'll help. You don't need to dissolve the sugar. The sugar really dissolves while it's baking. Sugar dissolves while it's baking. It's nice and hot in there. Gets all nice and wet. Distributes all over the cake. So yeah, you don't have to worry about how well the sugar is wet. It'll do its job in the oven. Look at that. It's all incorporated in there. Nice. Can you see that? Wow. Super focus. Okay. Let's move on to the egg. Good thing my sink's close. Get this egg in there. My buttermilk should be ready. Just in here. Nice. Get the egg all mixed in there. Ooh, now it's looking good. Nice creamy bit mixture. You can use a spoon, a wooden spoon I guess, but I just like this rubber spatula because I can scrape around the bowl and stuff, you know. Let's get in my buttermilk. Half a cup of buttermilk. 2 eggs. 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Ooh, it's slopping around now. That looks combined pretty good. I'll put my vanilla in there. No, I'll put the bananas in first. 4 bananas. Look at how brown they are. Look like applesauce. 4 bananas. Mashed up. A little bit lumps in there, but it's okay. It'll taste good. Get all that stuff out there. You know, most people use 3 bananas. I put extra banana in there and make it more banana taste. My bananas weren't really ripe. Pretty ripe, but not, they could have been riper. Like 1 more day ripe. If you have green bananas, you can poke holes in the skin of a green banana. Poke a hole in the skin with a fork 2 or 3 times and put them in the microwave for 30 seconds. And they'll be soft and mushy just like a old banana, ripe banana. Let's put this in there, vanilla. Teaspoon of vanilla. Sounds good to me. So I got to do the dry ingredients next. I'll put this to the side and sift my flour, the baking soda, and the salt. Okay, I turned my oven back on. So yeah, I got 2 1/2 cups of flour in here. Where's it? Yeah, 2 1/2 cups. Just regular all-purpose flour. See if I can adjust this a little bit. You can see that. So I'm going to put my baking soda, teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda, not powder. This is all-purpose flour. And a teaspoon of salt. And I hope this bowl is big enough to hold all my flour. Yeah, no problem. So everything's all combined here. Flour sifter. This thing's antique, man. It's from the 1950s. Just squeeze this handle here. Yeah, you can use a sieve or whatever you want. Most people do. So I got this mixture ready. Let's go back to our wet ingredients and dump some of this in. Let's see. I'll dump half of it in there. Mix in half of it right now. Hopefully this turns out good. I haven't done it in probably 2 years. I used to make 3 or 4 of these cakes, banana bread, and take them into work. People used to devour it with their coffee in the morning. They love it. It's going to be lumpy. No problem. The lumps go away when it cooks. So everything's combined here. And I'll stir in these nuts I put in the oven. 10 minutes, cup of nuts. Walnuts I use. Pecan is good. I'm not sure what you would do if you didn't have all-purpose flour. If you had cake flour or bread flour, I don't think it works the same. You get a different kind of texture. Yeah, it's starting to look like a batter now. $350, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius. 350 Fahrenheit. The oven has to be the rack. So when you put your cake in there or your bread, the top of your bread is in the center of the oven. Not low, not high, but in the middle is the best. So you don't want to overstir this, just stir it good. It's lumpy from the bananas, and I'll put my nuts in there. That's a lot of nuts. I love them. I won't put the little, I'll put the shavings in there. What the hell? More flavor. So I want to stir these nuts in here, and then I think I'm ready. Oh yeah, I just heard the beeper go off. It means my oven's hot. Cool. They're all mixed in. You see how, you can see how thick it is. Blop. Blop. I'll put this on a baking sheet. My prepared pan, it's got butter or Crisco inside, or you could use spray. Ooh, yeah. And this is heavy. Yeah, it looks pretty good. My spatula works good. rubber spatula, silicone. Whoa. This bowl is big. It's hard to hold on to. And if you don't see all of it going in there, and I leave some in the bowl, don't yell at me. So this is going to go in the 350 oven for about an hour. And I'll check it with a toothpick, you know. Take it after about an hour and check it with a toothpick. Nice and smooth. That looks good. Raise my hand up here. And that's banana nut bread, man. We'll see what happens. It's nice and full. 9x5 pan. And I'll put this in the oven. I'm gonna come back.